All right, I'm going to continue my World Leader series here with a reading on Vladimir Putin. So let's just see what we got. And when I was originally doing this, I was kind of thinking of just Russia in general, but we're going to specifically look at Putin and just see what we get. Root card is strength, and the main card is the sun. Okay, let's just see what's on either side of the sun. These are both powerful major arcana cards. All right, we get a Six of Cups and a Five of Cups. Okay, so the strength card on the bottom is basically showing Vladimir Putin just sort of throwing all of his will into one thing. It's a test of strength. And here the strength card is upright. So it would show that he has the strength to do the thing that he's trying to do. So this sort of test of will forms the basis for everything else in the reading. Now, the main card here is the sun. So the sun is pretty much about just shamelessly being who you are, not apologizing or like trying to hide your intentions or any of that stuff. So it's essentially just shameless freedom of expression. And theoretically, in the sun, it's also about accepting other people's truth as well as just putting your own out there. I'm not so sure about all that. But with the sun, we do have just not hiding and just showing what he wants to do. Now, leading up to the sun is the Six of Cups, and this is basically the old story. And I know that there's a lot of Russian nationalism that is kind of integrated with the Orthodox Church. And I'm assuming that that's the kind of stuff that is being talked about in this Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is the old story of good versus evil, right? Now, the Six of Cups is more of a memory of some shit that happened a long time ago, and the memory is probably not accurate anymore, but it does show that this old story is what's leading up to the current energy in the sun and just the shameless expression, right? Now, on the other side of this, from the shameless expression, we end up in a Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is basically a broken relationship with somebody, and it's a breakdown in communication. So here you can see, this one is nagging, and the husband here just has their ears plugged, and they're like, whatever, I'm not fucking listening to you anymore. So we do have this sort of communication breakdown in some sort of relationship. I'm going to pull another card to see what this is talking about. And we get a reverse chariot. Okay. So the chariot would kind of bounce off the strength card, right? And I'm assuming the strength card would have at least a little bit to do with the war in Ukraine. And this is saying, I'm going to do this thing, and just applying all the will and force to it. And here the strength card is saying, like, he's got the staying power to do this. Now, when it comes to this broken relationship, the reverse chariot is not having a clear goal. The reverse chariot is like not exactly knowing what you're doing, or like feeling stuck and that sort of thing. So the relationship here has to do with essentially a lack of direction. Now, I'm still not 100% sure what this is talking about. Maybe it's with military people or something. I'm going to pull one more card on this just to see what we get. Okay, now this is other oligarchs with the Three of Cups. This is some people that have gone through the shit with Vladimir Putin. And here the fish swallowed them all, and they all kind of work their way through this, and they're celebrating. So this is the other people, and probably not just oligarchs, but probably other KGB guys, right? But this is the people that Vladimir Putin has a close tie with. Now here, what's showing here is like somebody feels a distinct lack of direction, and the communication between the two of them is just breaking down, which is not very good for Vladimir Putin. So with this situation, basically, how does this turn out for him, or how does this affect what he's doing? And we get the Emperor. So this is like basically a crackdown. So the Emperor is going to once again use the energy in the Strength card and just sort of dominate. So I wouldn't be surprised if I mean, really, if more people didn't just disappear or fucking die or whatever, because the emperor is putting his foot down, the emperor is taking control. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to fucking kill everybody. However, it does mean that he is going to take control. All right. Now, I guess let's see. I'm going to collect these, and let's just take a look at the war in Ukraine and see where that's at or whatever. Now, keep in mind that this reading is for Vladimir Putin. So this is distinctly coming from the Russian side of this. But let's see Putin and how his interaction is or whatever with the war in Ukraine. Let's just see what we get. Okay. So the Four of Cups is essentially showing a feeling of boredom. And this is like the person is like stuck in this little castle, and they're like, oh my God, I really want to be doing something else, but they're not doing anything else. They're just sitting there bored. So, I mean, stagnation is probably what the Four of Cups is showing here. Also, the reverse Five of Swords is showing insult. Insult that can't be done. Nothing can be done about the insult in the Five of Swords, but when it's reversed, this is just like projected. It looks pretty shitty for Vladimir Putin. So this is probably where some of that communication breakdown that showed up earlier is coming from, because I think this is coming from within the castle, right? So this is insult that you can't do anything about it. So it's like if you feed it at all, you kind of lose. We'll put one more here. And there is the happy reunited family. Now, I think as far as Putin goes, this is the goal with the ethnic Russians or whatever in Ukraine to be reunited with Russia. And so it looks like that if that does happen, it doesn't happen until there's stagnation and a great deal of insult. But I'm going to put a card here to find out if this is something that is actually materializing. And we get the Hangman. So the Hangman shows that if it materializes, it isn't anytime soon. But the Hanged Man also bound themselves. So it would, I mean, if you put it all together, it would basically show like there is some plan for Putin to do this, for Putin to reincorporate the family, right? But he's holding himself back from whatever it is that he would have to do. And that's where this like stagnation and boredom comes into play. And I'm assuming that this sort of holding back is where all of this insult and troll energy comes from as well. Okay. I'm curious let's just see what is represented in the thing. Like when the hangman comes out of this position, what what is it going to mean? And the reversed hierophant. Hmm. Hmm. So the reversed hierophant would be going against the traditional structure. Boy, I'm going to put one more on this. This is church stuff. This is specifically church stuff, I think. Damn. Ah, holy crap. So, I mean, honestly, this looks like some sort of directive, like completely connected to or combined with the Orthodox Church. Like taking control of it to some fucking degree or something, or overturning something within it. Damn. So, and here, this looks like it's some sort of plan that is being held back on, right? And if you look at the rest of the stuff, it's like, there are people that want him to do it, and he's holding off on it for the moment. It'll be interesting to see how this actually plays out. But this looks like some sort of directive that overturns a part of the church or is integrated with it or some fucking shit. If you combine the emperor and the reversed hierophant, damn. Okay. Now, I'm going to collect these again, and let's just look at emotionally and spiritually. Vladimir. So he's sitting down here for a reading, and it's like, what do I need to know? Just for his spiritual health and well-being, right? Okay, so we have a Seven of Pentacles, which is interesting. This is basically cultivating skills. It's learning by doing. So it's saying, like, keep learning whatever it is that you're trying to learn. And the Hermit reversed. So I'm going to put one more as kind of a cap on this. Damn. So the fact that the King of Swords is showing up in here is saying that emotionally and spiritually, that the military leader is who he is, right? That is kind of his spiritual path. It's exactly what he is supposed to do. Now, the reversed hermit is showing an inability to sort of separate from his job, I guess, from the role that he's playing as the King of Swords. The reversed hermit is the inability to separate, to remember what he's made of, like who he is. It's like there's so much of what he has to do that is connected to being the king that he doesn't get to be a person, he might not really get to do a lot of emotional and spiritual reflection because he has to be the King of Swords. But this also shows that that is his true path. So I guess that is what we get here. Now, hold on. Since we're on the topic of Putin, I tend to do a lot of World War III readings. So let's just see. And this is as far as, the Western world's fear, and it's about Putin invading some other thing. So let's just see if there is a plan for Putin to invade some other place. Now we get the fucking Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups, this is saying that it's like, this is drawing board energy, right? So I wouldn't say that the plans aren't being created. Now, as we look at this, the bottom card is the reverse chariot, which is showing feeling stuck or not having clear direction. But the fact that it's a 7 shows that there isn't necessarily a plan for this now, but the plans are kind of being drawn up. So that is pretty terrifying, but that is what we get here. If you have a reading that you would like me to do, then feel free to hit up the Patreon page. And for as little as $5 a month, you get to see all the Patreon readings and you get to request topics for readings yourself. And it's a pretty good deal. That is what we have for today, and peace.